Right, you lot. Splitgate 2 launched this weekend and somehow, some fucking how, I'm sat here about to praise Battle Royale. I had no plans for this video. I was supposed to slag off some monetization bollocks and call it a day, but instead, game were good, CEO made things right, and a Call of Duty dev tried to throw a shade but ended up looking like a spoon. Strap in, because this is not how FPS genre is supposed to work. And yet, here we are. Splitgate 2 hit big red button on Friday. Full launch, all guns blazing, and I'll be honest, when I heard words Battle Royale at Summer Game Fest, I nearly uninstalled out of pure reflex. Because let's be real, Note says we've given up quite like slapping a BR mod on a shooter in 2025. But, plot twist, I played it, with my lads no less. And what happened next? I had fun. Proper fun. Screaming Dark Mike, team wipe with a portal kind of fun. See, this isn't your average loot and hide BR bullshit. You don't get time to sit in a bush stroking your KD. Splitgate's BR is fast. It's frantic. It rewards movement, communication, and actual teamwork. You start as a squad and for good reason. Run off alone and you'll be spectating faster than a COD dev disabled comments. It's a portal popping, biome shifting, high flying mess of chaos, and it actually works. I'm still terrible at it, no lies. But I played a lot of BRs of it years, and this is first time since OG Fortnite that I found myself queuing up for another match out of choice, not obligation. And I thought sweaty twonks pipe up with, I don't need a team, I carry my mates. Sit fuck down. This BR ain't designed for your solo ego stroking. It's built for synergy, for clutch revives, cross-map portal flanks, and pushing together as a unit. You wanna run solo? Go back to Warzone and cry when Gulag closes. But I digress. Splitgate's BR ain't just a tacked-on mode. It's designed. It's built with intent. It blends arena shooter DNA into BR format without feeling like a gimmick. Respawns, power weapons, actual tactical mobility. Yeah, please. At the moment I knew this wasn't some trend-chasing clone, that moment we got wiped, spectated another squad, and they were pulling off portal bait switches. They weren't hiding, they were playing. Like an arena shooter inside a Battle Royale. That's mad. I went in ready to hate. I came out thinking, shit, they've done something here. And that's just Battle Royale. Let me tell you about rest at launch, cause this update wasn't a single mod stunt, it were a full-on Arsenal drop. New maps, 3 of them. Academy, tight, clean, vertical, proper map. Grit, grimy and aggressive, perfect for portal pressure. Simulation hectic, and it lives up to its bloody name. It's like someone blended caffeine and geometry and made it playable. But real win? Team Deathmatch, now a permanent arena mode. Thank fuck for that. No more KD chasing twonks, griefing objective modes while defending a corner at map like it's the Nan's inheritance. Now they got permanent playground to hunt dopamine and pretend the 1.3 KD means something. Splitgate 2's finally carving lanes correctly. TDM for stat freaks, objectives for team players, and BR for chaos crowd. Perfect. But let's talk featured modes. No portals and OG Splitgate. And I'm saying it loud, these two should not be limited time experiments. No portals is for casuals who want clean gunfight without stepping through quantum void every 5 seconds. And that's fine. Let them frag in peace. OG Splitgate though, that's nostalgia. That's original formula that hooked people back when Splitgate were underdog punching above its weight. And you can see demand. Old heads asking for that classic feel, and now it's back. But temporarily? Nah, keep it permanent. You want to keep legacy players? Give them the roots. You want to welcome new players? Give them choice. This isn't difficult, it's just common sense design. In fact, they're already rotating through modes, shows the testing water ain't right way. And can we take a moment to salute Gravitas Shotgun? New power weapon. It's like a freight train powered by rage and broken ribs. You land a shot with this thing, and you feel it. It's a little overpowered, but not spammy. It's clean, brutal, high-risk boomstick gameplay. It's not just about new content, it's kind of content. Stuff that fits, stuff that adds, stuff that respects pace and philosophy at game instead of bloating it, which is already more than we can say for half at yearly AAA releases dripping with feature bloat and TikTok emotes. You know what caught me off guard more than Battle Royale? Balance patch didn't ruin up. I mean that. No broken meta, no accidental god guns, no weird momentum killing nerfs that make you feel like you're shooting rubber bullets soaked in regret. Instead, what we got were restraint, precision, control. They didn't go full panic mode and go half at sandbox like COD does every time someone makes a TikTok with word melting in it. They just adjusted. Right stuff. Right way. Cadence carbine, buffed to be actually usable. Phasma SMG and Charger shotgun, reeled in so they're no longer toddler tier easy mode. And Charger's range and damage drop off now actually matters. Imagine that. Shotguns behaving like shotguns. Shocking, I know. Then there's real meat, abilities and equipment. Cooldowns, slowed. Passive bonuses, nerfed slightly. And you know what? Good. Cause last thing we needed were people turning this into a MOBA with guns. Splitgate were never about flashy gadgets or cheesy loadouts. It were always about movement, gunplay, and map control. That's where the soul of this game lives. They heard complaints during beta, factions felt unbalanced, abilities were starting to eclipse core mechanics, and they didn't say, get good, they fixed it. Cooldowns extended, passive synergy rebalanced, and most importantly, equipment no longer resets on respawn. That's kind of change that separates skill from spam. Tech shock disc, less bloom abuse. Time dome, smaller, slower, actually feels tactical now. Recon radar, no longer infinite, cause guess what? Warlocks are supposed to have a limit, especially in a game that prides itself on creativity and movement. And don't think perks get off easy either. Cross-board, recharge boosts, bonus effects, reveal durations, all shaved down. Trim fat, keep punch. Exactly what a live service shooter should do after launch. They've delivered kinda update that shows they're not just looking at spreadsheets, they're playing game. They know what's working, what isn't, and they're shaping meta, not chasing it. Meanwhile, over in COD land, they're probably prepping another anime bundle and a patch that deletes footsteps for balance. Now let's talk about a bit that nearly gave me whiplash. An apology from CEO. That wasn't bullshit. So Splitgate 2 launches, it's going great, people are buzzing, servers are on fire, in a good way, and then they drop a bundle in store. Nano Swarm, $140. Everyone saw price and went, mate, nah. And in any other game, that would have been it. They gaslight you into thinking you misunderstood value or a cosmetic flaming sword with a blockchain backstory. But now, what does the Ian Proulx do? He gets on camera, himself. No script, no PR puppet strings, just Ian. And he says,
we hear you loud and clear on the store prices. And so that Nano Swarm bundle, we're cutting the price in half. Some of the other items in the shop, we're reducing prices across the board. And we're gonna keep monitoring it, we're gonna keep listening, but that's what we're taking action on today. We're also gonna be issuing refunds for the kind of the difference in pricing for the split coin that you spent. You will get that back. So now and going forward, this will be the new standard that we set. And we're gonna keep listening.
That's not just a refund, that's a fucking industry moment. That's anti-Activision. That's opposite of Ubisoft blaming early adopter confusion for selling broken premium items. He didn't hide behind a community manager, he didn't deflect, didn't say, we'll look into it. He said, we're fixing it. And it wasn't just about store, he used moment to talk vision, why the meta BR, why it fits Splitgate DNA, why arena still matters, why they're not chasing trends, the evolving genre they love. And when he said,
without arena, there is no Battle Royale. Without Map Creator, Map Creator supports this ongoing effort of live ops, right? We need it all. Onslaught, so fun.
I believe him, because he's not pitching seasonal content on a quarterly call. He's building a game he'd actually play. He even gave us a roadmap. Ranked mode, 2 to 4 weeks. Mastery skins, same window. Actual progression, actual incentive. None of that come back tomorrow for plus 5 XP garbage. I don't care how big your studio is. This is how you lead. Community first, transparent, accountable. In an industry full of faceless suits who treat players like wallets with thumbs, Ian showed up like a fucking dev with spine. More of this, less of whatever else Activision thinks communication is. Now, of course, it won't be a proper FPS conversation without some cocky dipshit from Call of Duty chiming in with smug, undeserved confidence. So here comes Luke, aka Daruma IW, a render artist from Infinity Ward. Already a bold claim considering how much a Modern Warfare store looks like it was sneezed at by Mid-Journey and left untextured. He tweets, make FPS great again, and it's Splitgate. Snide, condescending, straight out of "I work on a sinking ship so I piss on rowboats" playbook. Now Splitgate 2 socials fired back, and honestly, it were art. Which Call of Duty does your team make again? I can't tell them apart. Boom, headshot, end tweet, drop mic. But of course, because world hates accountability, that tweet got deleted. Social team issued an apology. They admitted it were childish. Nah, fuck that. It wasn't childish, it were accurate. Call of Duty has spent last decade bleaching identity out of FPS games. 3 studios, thousands of developers, billions in revenue. And what do we get? Copy-paste gunplay, AI-generated cosmetics, 6v6 maps recycled from 2009, and store bundles that cost more than full indie games. And this render guy, this budget lighting texture intern from most consistently disappointing studio in COD rotation, has gall to punch down at a 200-person team that just launched a free-to-play shooter with no AI garbage, no pay-to-win, and no crunch-slathered AAA bloat. Mate, you should be apologising for your game. You render overpriced anime skins for a company that charges 70 quid for early access to disappointment. You've got note to say. Sit fuck down. Let me be clear. I don't care if Splitgate socials got a bit spicy. I care that they're defending a project built on art, community, and actual player experience, not recycled monetization loops and branding exercises. COD's been a problem for years. You want to talk about making FPS great again? Then maybe stop mocking horny devs out there trying to do just that. And this is what pisses me off more than all. Not bundles, not BR trend chasing, not even smug little render goblins piping up from behind the motion blur sliders. It's double standards. Splitgate 2 launches. Small team, free game, minimal marketing, and industry lines up to mock it like it's wearing knockoff shoes. Meanwhile, COD farts out same rebranded sludge, charges full price, slaps AI textures on guns, and same clowns bend over for battle pass. Let me break it down for you. Splitgate 2 has no AI content. It's crafted. It's player focused. Devs respond to feedback in days, not quarters. COD has 3,000 to 4,000 devs, massive budgets, and they're still pumping out store bundles made by algorithms and charging you real money to own them. And worst part? Some of you still defend that shit. Some of you moaned about monetization and X-Defiant, then ran straight back to COD and paid 16 quid for a Pikachu rip-off shotgun. You pretended to care about developers, but when a team of 200 people works their arse off to make something fresh, fun, and community-driven, you piss on it. Meanwhile, Activision serves you its same microwave Modern Warfare leftovers on a play-to-pay walls, and you ask for seconds. You want to talk about punching above your weight? 1047 is throwing haymakers at a bloated genre that's been circling drain for years. They've got no megacorp backing, no army of microtransaction economists, no billion-dollar media plan, just a passion project that delivers what shooters used to be about. Speed, precision, chaos, creativity. And what's the reward? Snide tweets, misplaced smugness, and silence from same FPS fans who scream, "We want change," ready to for queuing up for another 6v6 sweatbox with recycled kill streaks. Mate, I'll take an immature dev who fights for their game over a corporate drone who laughs while his publisher sells your nostalgia back to you at 25 quid a bundle. Every single time. So yeah, Splitgate 2 didn't just launch, it landed. New maps, new mods, Battle Royale that should have been shite but turned out to be the most fun I've had since Fortnite grew facial hair. A dev team that actually balances game. A CEO who apologises like a fucking adult. And a community that, when it's not whining about portals, might finally have something worth holding on to. But don't get it twisted, I'm not blind. I know there's still issue. Netcode quirks, hit-reg weirdness, cross-region matchmaking giving people ping nightmares. And we'll get into all that in the next video. I've been watching, listening, playing. This isn't just hype train, it's full diagnostic with rocket fuel and rage. Because if Splitgate 2 is going to really carry torch for what FPS genre used to be, then we need to hold it to higher standard, support it when it delivers, and shout when it stumbles. That's how this works. But for now, this was one hell of a launch. And if you're still out here defending AI-generated store sludge from $1 trillion corpse or a franchise while ignoring what 1047 just pulled off with 1/20th at budget and 100 times passion, then here's your twonk badge. Corporate condition loadout liquor with monetization Stockholm syndrome. Have a nice day. Join Discord, follow on X, consider a channel membership. Get early access to content and rants direct to your face. Smash like it, subscribe, drop your thoughts below, especially if you got a favourite mod, map, or moment from launch. And I'll see you next time, you magnificent.